Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So, a bit of a trip back to supermarkets, Tesco's. I think it's the only place I've ever seen this actually, and it's for Abbot Reserve, Greene King's Abbot Reserve. Um, Thankfully, still 6.5%. You have to watch this with your beers soon. That breweries are rightly, maybe wrongly, God knows what, playing around with the ABVs to make the beer less, save money on duty. The only problem with that is a bit when beer tastes different or not as good, then you fall out of love with that beer. But thankfully, this is still 6.5%. So it is going to be an interesting time going forward. So aroma of ripe fruit and fruitcake. Wow. 6.5%. This was going to be part of a live, but to be honest, I'm not even feeling bloody beer reviews at the moment. I need to get my head back in the game. What's happened here and here, kind of thrown me off. And even today at work, I'm at work and I'm thinking, that's it. Just quit beer drinking, quit alcohol altogether. And I blame this, what happened here, on alcohol. Um, and yeah, and it's just one of those things, I suppose, isn't it? Was it bad luck? What a multitude of factors, I suppose. I still blame alcohol for this, and yeah, so I'm not in a good place with alcohol at the moment, and beer reviews is obviously the next thing down out of the alcohol. I dare say in a few days' time, the weather was crap today as well, so I was feeling really peed off with the weather. I was cold, feeling miserable. There was a shitload of work at work, and I think it's just one of them days. You get them days, don't you? Where sometimes you just. And yet the channel is tootling along. It's going from strength to strength all the time. It is what it is. I dare say I'll snap out of it at some stage. Although this is quite the reminder that, overdoing it is something I won't be doing again. So anyway, on this pour, quite an amber pour on this. A good bit of carbonation coming from the bottom, slightly off white head. There we go. This and Abbot Ale, gotta be honest, Abbot Ale in pubs, last few times I've had Abbot Ale in pubs, it did not taste as good as it used to. So, nose wise, it's got that typical fruitcake nose to it, shall we say. And at the moment, yeah, a fruitcake on the taste as well. And at the moment, it's actually tasting okay. I mean, I reviewed Hobgoblin the other day, and Hobgoblin was an absolute disgrace of a beer. My gosh, what they've done to that beer. And trad beers are becoming more popular again. Why? Because the price of trad beers is a lot cheaper than paying 4, 5, 6 and upwards for craft. So if you're going to make something that's craft, it's got to be, worthy of that price point you're selling it at. There are beers that are certainly worthy of that point. Not for everyone though, and like I say, not everyone can afford to. It's as simple as that. And the funny thing is, I've been sitting on money for my birthday, and normally straight away rush out, treat myself to some beers, and you know, I went to the supermarket the other day with the money, and I walked in and it's like nothing interesting, nothing, not even the new craft beers that I've not had before. I'd looked at them for same old crap, you know, and yeah, so, and that's me, somebody who normally, the normal version of me is someone who's buying beers for fun, who goes to a pub and he's like looking for the newest beer to review, and I'm even struggling, and I think a lot of that's due to being a bit down with what's gone off here, and still feeling pain from it, and worried about, you know, what I've done internally to bones and muscles and stuff, and that, I suppose, that filters into my reviews as well in some ways, you know, although Hobgoblin was absolutely flipping dire, you know, it's as simple as that. Luckily I've had good beers to counteract the few shite ones that have come in. So anyway, Greene King. Being a Nottingham person, Greene King, what they did to Hardy and Hanson's pees me off. And I know these breweries come in and rescue breweries. I don't know the ins and outs of the deal, whether Hardy and Hanson's were on their knees and Greene King came in and actually saved them, which in that case, okay. But obviously they sold the brewery, they've made a packet of money on that, it's all been built on now. And I assume they took over the old Hardy and Hanson pubs. I assume. I don't really. It's just the fact an out of towner came in, bought one of our breweries, shut it down, which pees me off. So yeah, it's rich fruit cake. My taste buds are off, but it ain't got the same feel to it that it used to have. I remember drinking this, and it's, you know, it was one of my top supermarket beers, alongside a few others that are in that area. I mean, the ABV's not been played around with, so you would hope that the rest of it hasn't been played around with. Only the brewers will know this, obviously. And you will have noticed at the moment I'm struggling back down to one review a day. I've got a few banked short reviews that we did at the weekend on my birthday. And I've got some pub reviews to do as well at some stage, but it's like today I didn't get in again today till 6ish. Yesterday it was late, nearly 7:30 before I got in, and tomorrow I'm working as well, so even with a dodgy hand, a gammy eye and a bloody crappy elbow, the rest of me is recovered quite well actually, and I am getting there. I'm still taking painkillers for the pain. But powerful lesson learnt. You know, all the moaning that I sometimes get, mainly from the wife to be fair, about, you know, drinking too much and all this, and it took something where you fall on your face, or if I fell, I don't know, because I've got bruises, strange bruises, and I was knocked unconscious, so I have no idea. I don't remember. I remember standing at Bang the Elephant's bar at the craft beer market, but I don't remember anything after that until all of a sudden I'm walking on this bloody estate. I have no idea where I am, and I'm like, where the hell am I? unbeknownst to me, I'd probably been walking around for about 3 hours by that time. So, yeah. And it really has. I really have been affected by it, I tell you. And yeah, self-inflicted. Yeah, I'll go with that. You know, should have had one less beer. Should have gone on a bus. Should have got a taxi. I'm also peed off that my phone's got about 30 bloody reviews on, and I can't get into it. I might even have another pop at it tonight. So I've got to turn my computer on tonight. So I might have a pop at it tonight and try and sort it out. Anyway, back to the review. A Raggy's beer review. Gives the chance for the beer to breathe, to be fair. That's my excuse anyway for waffling. I hope everybody's well. Tell you what, these summers do seem to be getting hotter, drier. We had quite a wet and cold spring, to be fair. It was cold for really long. All of a sudden, summer's come in. Everywhere's dry. You need to see it. And I mean, it depends on where you are in the country, I suppose. But certainly in Nottingham, it's dry as hell. I've had to go into like drought measures on the grass to try and keep the grass as green as possible. We can't use a nose pipe at work. Cost of the water is ridiculous because we're on a meter. Why they want a meter in a 400-year-old bloody hotel is beyond me. I can't understand why it got put on a meter. 342 years actually, not 400. Yeah, 1678. So yeah. What are we? 2020. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm having to cut the grass on a higher cut because the grass is still growing. I've left the grass, but I've cut it on a higher cut and don't box it. So you cut it, don't box it. So high cut if you have to cut it. If you don't have to cut it, don't touch it. But cut it on a higher cut. Let the grass fall on the top. That feeds the grass, puts moisture back in because the grass will get the moisture off that. And it's just a way of trying to stop the grass going brown. There's no rain on the horizon either. Bloody hell. The week was showing up that it was going to be, you know, quite the warm week, and no, quite a week with rain, and that's what I meant to say. And now you look at it, and like all the way till Monday, in the 20s, lows quite high. Literally, the rain is where 11. I mean, like tonight, there's a 53% chance, but it's not decent rain either. It's crap rain. So yeah, now I'm getting now my taste buds are wrapped around this. It's tasting pretty normal, to be fair. They haven't played with it yet. I know they have played with some Fosters. 3.7% for Fosters. There'll be a lot of pissed off lager drinkers. But Shepherd and Neem have dropped one of theirs down as well. And I can see this being a bit of a trend, I can. And the problem is, like I say, you start losing people. As far as I've heard, Fuller's ESB, which is there, that's been played around with. Yeah. 8 o'clock at night, first beer of the day. God, one of them days where I'm doing like 3 or 4 beer reviews in a night. It is what it is, you know. Can only do what you can do. One, I have not got the beers to do that anyway. Those 3 empty cans. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. They're empties. So I left them there because I've got the 4th one to review. And basically then the beer wall starts to empty at quite the rate. I've got my birthday beers to go on there. And that should take me all the way up then to the wedding. And hopefully I'll get my I'll somehow get into my phone and try, he says, get me bloody reviews off. I've got about 25 reviews, some great reviews as well, before I fell over and did this. And so angry with myself. Yeah, that's where it stems. A lot of it stems from that. I'm so disappointed and angry with myself that I walked home. And the not knowing what happened, what really happened, is a bit of a killer. So anyway, amber pour, whitehead, a good bit of carbonation going off. It looks like Greene King, for the moment, have left Abbot Reserve alone. I do like Abbot Reserve. It's a decent trad beer. I'd love to hear what people think about it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? You know, it batters the normal Abbot, and especially Abbot on cask. God knows what they've done to Abbot on cask in pubs, because every time I've drank it recently, it's not tasted anywhere near what it was. So has there been something been dropped down? You know, I don't know. All about their malty fruitcake aromas. Out of 5 for me. There is a slight aftertaste that doesn't feel quite right in this, and maybe that's what I've been getting all the way along. It doesn't taste like it did, and I may be wrong. It may just be my taste buds. It may be the fact that my mental health is affecting the taste buds. Yeah, sounds daft, but these things happen, you know. But yeah, out of 5 for me. Gotta be honest, it's not hit the wall like it normally does. Is that because my standard of beer drinking is much higher these days? You wouldn't think so if you've seen some of the shit that I drank. But although I've drank some amazing stuff at the Craft Beer Festival, yeah, got the bruises to got the bruises to prove it. I suppose the main thing is I'm here, and although not quite the same, but there you go. Out of 5 for me. Well, I've got to be honest, it doesn't taste exactly as I remember it, and there's something slightly different that I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't. It tastes a little bit synthetic compared to what it normally does. Am I wrong? I can be wrong. We can all be wrong. Or am I right? Be interesting to see if anybody else has drank this recently and thought, is there something different about this? Nothing different with the ABV. But if you are cost cutting, has something been changed somewhere along the line? Has sugar been added instead of malt to get the ABV to 6.5? You know, there's always ways to cheat the ABV, so it makes you wonder. So for me, this time, 4.2 out of 5. Yeah. Hopefully it's just my taste buds. Cheers.